Linked up on Mark13News.com for January 1st, 2023 is Unipolar order more unstable than ever, which is more propaganda from the Kenites on the multipolar end of the globalist spectrum as nation continues to rise against nation, meaning the goat pig nation rising up against itself within the shadow government thereof, which is symbolized by the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8. In other words, at this time there are two warring factions using unipolar versus multipolar globalism up until the great horn of the he-goat, which is the United Nations, in my opinion, gets broken, which is when the so-called New World Order will come into being at the woe of the fifth trumpet, when Satan and his angels get cast to earth, and that's when the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8 becomes the leopard of Daniel chapter 7. It's also at this time we continue to see the formulation of the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy, with articles like Russia and Iran are closer than ever before, as you can see on Mark13News.com, linked up for January 5th. And at the woe of the fifth trumpet, the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy will become the bear of Daniel chapter 7, which is also when the lion will come into being, which is symbolic of the Christian nations, up until the woe of the sixth trumpet, when they'll get plucked up by the roots, as it's written in Daniel chapter 7 verse 8, because that's when most Christians will begin worshiping Satan instead of Christ, which is what Antichrist means, when the final 2.5 months of the 5-month-long hour of temptation begin, which is when the one-world political system becomes a one-world religious system at the sixth seal, the sixth trumpet, and the sixth vial, when Satan appears in Jerusalem as the false Christ. The true Christ won't return until the seventh trumpet, the seventh vial, and immediately after the silence in heaven about the space of half an hour written of in the seventh seal. And as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.